Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Chad here with Team Fan of Kings 34, here to bring you guys another deck profile. This is my updated ABCD list. We just had our ban list that just hit the TCG that takes effect of the 5th of February. We got a lot of good hits. Monster Reborn's back after being out for like over a decade. Maxi's gone, Gofu's gone, Resorts to 1. Artifacts are basically a full power now. Quillforth's got their got tower back. Um, BLS is unlimited. There's a couple other cards that come off this that are now unlimited. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, but BLS is the one that really stuck out because it's been at 1 for so long. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. There's a few changes compared to last time. I bumped all the letters back up to 3s, and I bumped the gadgets back up to 2s. I'll go ahead and start with the main, like any other normal deck profile. I want to note that I took this to locals today. We had Yu-Gi-Oh! Day, like a lot of other places. I went 3-2. We had a top 8 standing. I got like 9th or 10th. I don't remember. I had 2 losses. The 2 losses were to Trickstars. By Trickstars, I mean reincarnation. Getting reincarnated and drooled most of the time. It's really hard, especially after you searched all your pieces and they wait and wait. Like Randy Orton, ready to give an RKO. And then they just royally fuck you, and then you have no choice but to basically just give them the W because you can't do anything. So enough talking about being salty. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. Triple A, A search is when it hits the graveyard. By search I mean adds from the graveyard back to hand. B, when it hits the graveyard, searches from the deck, and then C, special summons whatever you search off of Buster or whatever you have in your hand, really. Most of the time it'll be off whatever you searched here, which will be an A because you have A, B, and C to make your first turn Buster. Yeah, 3 is a lot better this time. I wasn't a big fan. I liked it running each of 2, but 3 was a little better for me today. Especially needing multiple names for to make Skull Dread. Double gold and double silver, like I mentioned, I added these back up to 2. Either of these leave the field, they special summon one another from the deck, or if they're normaled or special summoned from hand, you can special summon another level 4 machine type monster from your hand. So definitely must needs. Those are instant Quillforth, Genius, or Proxy Dragon. Pretty much you're going to go into the Quillforth now because its links are pointed to the corner left and the corner right versus being left and right like Proxy Dragon. So it really helps get that Buster Dragon out also. Draco Engine, Double Masterpiece. It's a headache by himself. Whatever he's tributed by, continuous spell, continuous trap in a monster, or whatever. He's immune to whatever those card types are. Hand traps. Double Ash Blossom. I wish I had one more. She came in clutch for me today. The one time I didn't come in clutch, that's one of the matches I ended up losing against the Spiral player. And then next, which I'm pretty salty about this too. These got a reprint, or getting one. The Triple Gamma. I didn't really make Omega today. I think I maybe made it once on my turn. My opponent tried ashing me, and I just like Gamma, and I made it there. And then it was against a Spiral player, and I was able to make Omega and then next turn it was a Buster and a Masterpiece. So it was pretty rad. And then the one driver, because you can't make Omega without it. Standard. If there's anything I would change in this, I might not play Draco for much longer. I think I'm gonna try the Galaxy version. Because of Quillport, whenever you have a monster special summon, or excuse me, link summon to one of the zones it's at, so like ABC Buster or like maybe another proxy or a Trigate, you can add a level 5 machine type monster from your deck to your hand. And since you run all light targets other than the 2 Ash Blossom, there's no reason why you can end up with an Infinity also, which would be really awesome to have. A Buster and Infinity and, like, let's say a Firewall and a Masterpiece is just stupid. You should be able to win the game right then and there. field spell stuff. The triple terraforming survived yet again. Um, Triple union hanger searches your A, B's, and C's, and then diagram gets your plays going and searches your Draco cards. I'm not gonna get really into those combos and stuff like that. I'll just tell you now that they're really good when you can get it off without being ogred. Um, Change this to, I think last time I had 2 and 2. I moved this back down to 2-1. Heritage is definitely the better of the True Draco spells. Whenever a True Draco card leaves the field while this card's on the field, or let's say you add another one, and you can draw that many cards. So if you have this in a Masterpiece or an Apocalypse leave the field, you can draw up to 2 cards, which is really nice because you don't really have much of a draw engine in this deck because all that you're really doing is searching and making boards. And then another draw engine, the Double Desire. Never really saw it today. Every time I would go second or have to, I'd side one of these out because I never saw it. And the one time that I did saw it, it actually ended up costing me because I had no plays and it was like a desperation play. And it ended up just royally fucking me. I banished like 2 B's, an A, a C, a Diagram, a Masterpiece, and like 2 other cards a Soul Charge was one of them that I needed, and I was like, fuck. But I ended up going game 3 against him anyway and winning in time. Cosmic Cyclone, get rid of Scales, back row. It's actually helped me get rid of a set Scapegoat and a set in Scales. Actually, it didn't help me get rid of Scales. I didn't play Pendulum, sorry, but it's the options there to get rid of Scales. One ofs, probably I might say the new best card in the game. Now that Maxi's gone. Soul Charge, you make retarded boards. It doesn't matter what deck you're playing. Soul Charge makes you stupid boards. And then the other revival spell that just came off the list is the Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is stupid. I'm glad we got it back. Card brings back a lot of memories. For those of you who can probably see, SDK First Ed, I've had this for a long time. I wouldn't trade this for a shiny one any day. A lot of history here. Card and I go way back. And then Regeki, board wipe, make your ABC Buster, like whatever, and then just basically OTK from there. Your small trap lineup, which is True Draco traps, the double Apocalypse, and the Return. Return is your Monster Reborn for Draco, is basically flip it on your opponent's turn. You can bring your Masterpiece back in defense position. And then this one here, you both contribute someone on your opponent's turn if you want, if you have a True Draco. And then this effect here is if you have a face-up True Draco card on the field, basically get rid of it. And then you can have the attack permanent of all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. So Apocalypse I feel is a little bit better than the Return, but Return also has its uses. And I forgot to mention, I'm sure I did in the last True Draco videos that I had. Each True Draco card has its own effect. The traps, they get rid of monsters, and the spells get rid of spells and traps and scales. So I forgot to mention that, so I apologize. Gonna get into the extra deck now. Extra deck, I really had fun making it, and I really had fun playing through it. Made a lot of really nice boards today. So there's a couple different changes in here compared to the last one also, with Firewall being the one, and adding the gammas and the drivers. Driver, I mean. So we'll start with links. The double Proxy Dragon. Proxy's a must-have generic link 2 that you're always going to need. The Quote Forth Genius. This just came out in this last set. I really like it. It's unaffected by spells, traps, and other link effects that go after this card. And when it's you have 2 monsters special summon to these zones here, you can search a level 5 machine monster. So I'm thinking about going to try the Galaxy Soldiers in here, take out the Draco, add the Soldiers, figure out what I'm going to do to make room for a Nova and Infinity, because I really want to try to have, I kind of want to try that Buster Infinity with like a masterpiece. I think that would really salt someone's butt. Um, but we'll see. Maybe that'll be a deck profile soon. Trigate double. It's a standard in this deck. Double Deco Talker. It's pretty much a standard for any deck. Generic link. The one Firewall because it's at one now, and then the one Skull Dread. I couldn't decide if I wanted to play between Skull Dread or Topologic, or not Topologic, sorry, Borload. I felt going with this was the better choice because you don't have much of a draw engine. Like you have a total of, I want to say, 5 cards, and most of the time you're only going to resolve maybe one or two of those to even draw it because most you're doing is searching anyway. This last effect with 4 monsters with different names to make this, you could draw 4, okay, and then you send 3 from the from your hand to the bottom of the deck in any order. That's fucking stupid. You can search, excuse me, you can draw and you can get into your diagrams, you can get into your terraforming, you can draw into your ash blossoms, you can draw into just about anything. And whatever you don't need, you can just send back to the deck. And since you're, already searching most of the time anyway, you're going to reshuffle and then if later you'll need one of those cards, you'll have it. It's really good. The one Omega because you run the Gamma in the drivers. XZs, the one Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi came up a couple times today, and it actually came up really clutch. Other than the one time I was ashed when I used it, so that was pretty cool. But he ended up not being able to get over it anyway because he got a big old butt at 23. And then the one Gear Gigan X, I only made him once. I'm going to take him out, and I'm going to put Babushka back in. I just wanted to try it out again. It kind of has synergy just that one game, but my opponent got over it way too easy. Babushka summoned in defense position is ridiculous, so I'm just going to put those back in because most of the time you don't even have a monster with attack or defense on the field anymore anyway. Unless you're paying spirals with like Sleeper or something. And then last is your triple Cancer. Make this card really easy. Materials either, deck, graveyard, whatever. Make a buster and discard to get rid of stuff. So that's my extra deck. Really like it. Tell me what you guys think that, you might want to change. Change Firewall for Topologic, or not Topologic, I'm sorry, I keep saying that. For a Borload or even Topologic, actually. I like where it's at. If I did change anything, it would try to fit the cut a Deco Talker, add an Infinity, and maybe cut the Tsukiyomi to add the Nova to go into that play. Next is I'm going to get into side deck. It's just what I play. It's whatever. Double Danko for Paleo, which I actually didn't see. It's really good against Trickstar. Double Lock, it's pretty much a standard in any deck now for the most part, or side deck. Double Ghost Ogre, another standard that you need to, or another card you need to run as a standard. Strike, I probably only used it twice. If I redid my side deck, it would definitely cut these. I don't ever see it enough. And now that we have Authority back, it might actually even main it because Authority you can add a Solemn. Double D Barrier for Pendulums, or even if you're playing against Cyframes, or ABC match. Anti-spell for the Pendulums also. I just threw these in today to try them. The Floodgate Trap Holes, mostly for Pendulums. Decks that span the field pretty quick, which Pendulums definitely do that. Especially at one time when they pendulum someone like 5, flip this over, flip them all over, and then you're basically free to do whatever you want because they can't synchro. They can't synchro, they can't link, they can't do anything. And then the last card that I also threw in was the Imperial Iron Wall. I never used it. I got to thinking this card actually hurts me, especially when I want to try to make Buster, but I can turn it off whenever I want if I have a Masterpiece in hand. So it's a real hit and miss card, I think. It's one of those you really need to think about what you're doing. It's kind of like anti-spell. Gotta really think about what you got going on before you do it. So that's my updated list. Tell me what you guys think. Drop a comment, drop a like. Um, tell me what you guys think. What could be changed? What do you guys think is going to be, meta relevant, etc. Um, Other than that, hope you guys have a good one. Thanks. I'm signing out. Later.